I mean, I think that kind of motivates us. Like, this guy has his own company and is doing this. It motivates me. Like, shit, I want to, like, be better. But I want to be better. And that, at least in that particular sense, that wouldn't happen if I didn't have any comparisons.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driven. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing about comparing yourself to others. Now, what are your thoughts about comparing yourself to others in the business aspect?
My thoughts on the comparing yourself to others in the business sense, I think it's good.
Okay.
I know that sometimes people say that comparing yourself to others isn't good. They compare yourself to yourself. You should just don't compare yourself to others.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good because then it kind of like, for example, we compare ourselves to like larger people, larger companies. Because I think that motivates us rather than it makes us feel bad. Oh, our company isn't at this stage or this and that. And so at least in my opinion, I think it's good that we compare ourselves to others because it kind of motivates us. And also like from school.
Okay.
Like when we've compared ourselves to others, people that are being successful. I think that kind of motivates us. Like this guy has his own company and is doing this.
Yep.
It motivates me. Like, shit, I want to like, be better, but I want to be better. And that, at least in that particular sense, that wouldn't happen if I didn't have any comparison to, but yeah. So like for me, at least personally, I think it's a good motivator. It also is kind of like how you take it, because if you compare yourself to others and you feel bad, that's not good. In my opinion, that's not good. And so like I guess if you look at it in a way that when you compare yourself to others, it motivates you, it kind of pushes you, it drives you. I think that's really good, especially in the business sense, because then it'll help you push you further in your goals and business. But what are your thoughts?
At least for me, the way I see comparing yourself to others, I have different perspectives. Okay. Well, not different, but multiple perspectives.
Okay.
One of them being good for the people that are actually motivated and are actually doing the things to be able to, compete with them. If that's something like you want to compare yourself for competition or for motivation or for just to drive yourself to light that fire in your ass, I think it's good. But for the people, how you mentioned, there's some people, like if you see like other companies succeeding, you want to, but you're not doing the things that you need to do to be able to compete with them. So like you could easily say, I want to be as big as this company, but yet you're not working what you need to do. You're not doing what you need to do. You're taking days off, so in that aspect, comparing yourself to others and you're not doing the things you need to be able to do it, and then you get desanimado. You don't, what's the word? Demotivated
or like unmotivated, like you don't feel like the motivation.
I think eventually it's gonna get to you and you're gonna start feeling bad. You're not gonna want to do it anymore,
right?
I would think, because you're like, man, this guy is so far ahead of me. Like, why am I even competing? Why am I even trying? So I think in that aspect, I don't think it's healthy.
So then it goes hand in hand, the fact that you're not doing the stuff and the fact that what if you are doing the stuff and you come
and I think it's just person to person. It depends on people, like on the individual,
right? So like either can, like, so would you say it's binary, as in like it'll motivate you to kind of like move forward, and then the other part of it is like, or for some people it can be demotivating, like shit, I'm not I'm not at their stage. It makes you feel bad.
I would think so. Just take us, for example. Since high school, we were comparing ourselves to others. We're like, man, I'm leaner than you. I'm like, I lost more weight than you. I have a six pack. I'm stronger than you. And to, like, that pushed us. Like, nah, like, we'll see. We told ourselves we'll see. And so, but I know, like, if I wasn't doing the things that were making me healthier, were making me, leaner, or were helping me achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve, and you were, but I wasn't. I was overeating. I wasn't exercising. I was just getting a little bit more weight. I would feel desanimado. I'm like, fuck, man, you're just rubbing it in my face to an extent. So I do think it depends on the individual.
Right. No, I agree. And so then what would you consider yourself to be? The one that gets demotivated, or the one that actually like looks at that, you compare yourself to others and it motivates you? Which one would you say you are?
The one that motivates. Okay. Because I see these bigger companies that have 10, 20 years of being in business, who have a lot of resources, and comparing their company to our company is like, fuck, they're way ahead of us. But, you know, the way I think to myself is it's only a matter of time. The only thing they have on us is time and resources and everything. But it's just time. Because eventually, you know, I would like to think we're doing the right things in order for us to grow the business. So I would like to consider myself that, you know, just looking at them in a sense of, okay, we're going to get our company to this stage. And then, you know, we're going to work our way to, you know, eventually pass that company.
So then you would say you compare yourself to, like, things that are so way ahead of you, as opposed to, for example, compare yourself to, like, oh no, probably not naming companies, but so instead of, for example, a company that's 1 year, 2 years, a few years ahead of you that is more, like, achievable in the sooner stage.
But do you think it's comparing yourself, or is just
a goal?
Analyzing goal?
Well, because for me, like, at least for me, like, I've never really
compared, huh?
Like, companies, like, I see other companies that are bigger, but I know we're doing what we're supposed to do in the company to make it grow. I think, at least for me, it's more of a person to person. Like,
in what way? Person.
Like, I've compared myself to people, like, from like high school that, you know, and I not to brag, but there's not a lot left anymore, if any. And so I think the goalpost has shifted because a lot of people some people did well.
Yeah.
But I think we're a little bit further ahead. And I'm not trying to be, like, brag, and I'm not, like, it is what it is. Like in our high school, like, it's hard to really, and I hope no one sees it, because then it's gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like a, you know, freaking asshole douchebag. But, like, so like, yeah, well, I used to compare myself personally to people, but now that at least the people that I used to compare myself to is, like, there's really no comparison to be made. Like, if I compare myself with this old sand, like, am I gonna feel bad? I don't feel better by comparing myself to others that maybe are not in a certain position yet. So, like, that has changed, and so that's what I personally compare myself to people.
Okay.
But then in business, like, we compare, like, we have compared it, like, Bogart Tech with other companies that are in the similar niche. Remember with like, you know, with website sales, daily sales. So, like, we've compared ourselves, and I think that is a little bit motivating.
Would you say that you also compare yourself to a previous version of yourself?
Like, have I compared myself?
Have I gotten better?
The thing is that I know I've gotten better.
But you don't compare yourself to yourself.
Like how I used to be to how I am. I mean, yeah, at least not deeply, but, like, they're just quick instances, like, just differentiating, like, before maybe.
Yeah, and that's where I was going, because one of the things I like to do is think to myself, how would Alexis look if, you know, he improved his skills, if he was, you know, a better communicator, if he was a better thinker, if, you know, all these things. And by doing that, you know, I think to myself, I'm like, man, I got to work on all these things. Let me see what I could do to get to that stage. So to an extent, compare yourself to the best version you could be. To, if you want a certain skill, to an extent, I imagine, I'm like, what would I look having this skill? And I'm like, fuck, that would be sick.
Yeah.
And so, like, that kind of also not motivates me, but makes me think that I need to work harder in acquiring those skills for me to be able to reach that, you know, that level I want to reach. Yeah. So to an extent, that's where I was going to. Okay. Like, yeah, not just the previous self of what you used to be, but what you can, your potential.
But yeah, I think that's just pretty much how we view comparing yourself to others. I think for us it's good. For others it may not. So I think just defining and understanding how you are and how you react to those, like, comparing yourself. I think once you understand that, and let's just talk about that. If it's good, it motivates you. It makes you want to compete. I would say use that as motivation and use that as kind of like fuel to kind of keep you going. But I know it's not for everyone. Comparison isn't good for everybody. So I think just understanding how you are and who you are.
Yep.
But with that, do you have any other final thoughts?
No.
So with that being said, let us know in the comments if you've ever compared yourself to anybody and who you've compared yourself to. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.